Hey guys, quick second here. I want to take and mention that this video and most of my videos are based on my opinion. I am not an expert at this game. I'm just a guy with an opinion. I got strong opinions about Kark. I've got stronger opinions about other heroes. Just keep that in mind as you're watching this tier video and other tier videos like it, and you'll have a nice happy day, just like I will. I love you all. Enjoy the video.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero Wars Central, and in today's video, we're going to do a Qing Mao tier list discussion. We're going to talk about where I feel she fits in my unique tier list. I have 5 tiers in my tier list, and we'll talk a little bit about the ups and downs of Qing Mao and how to level her, all that stuff. First of all, here is the maxed stat page for mobile. This actually might be a week or a month behind now that I'm looking at it. I don't know that it has the full amount of armor penetration that she got from her new skin. In fact, I know that it doesn't. So for the most part, this is the maxed stats with the exception of an extra armor penetration skin whenever she got that cat onesie for the masquerade skin last month. So quick recap here, about 30 seconds. I have 5 tiers in my tier list. They are the tier list is based on utility of a hero, not the power level of a hero. So this isn't a discussion on how powerful Qing Mao is as a warrior compared to other warriors or how she does in teams versus other teams. This is strictly how I value her in a team building composition kind of utility space. So, do you build a team around her? Do you need other players in order for her to be effective? Is she only good in player versus environment? Those are the kinds of things that I like to answer in this video. And Qing Mao she's a borderline hero. That's a little foreshadowing. She's a little borderline hero, but we'll talk about that in a little bit after we talk about her skills, her skins, her glyphs, her artifacts, and all of that. So let's first talk a little bit more about Qing Mao and who she is. She's a frontline warrior. There's only a couple of warriors in the game. Her, Kark, Ishmael, Jew, I think. No, Jew's a marksman. Her main stat is agility, and she's a pretty popular hero. She's a pretty often seen hero in the front half of a lot of physical damage dealing teams, Ginger teams, Kira teams. Not so much with Kark or others, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So for skills, Qing Long is her brother. And Qing Long also is her gray or ultimate ability, and this ability is the one that she uses whenever her energy bar is full. You can manually activate this ability in manual fights such as campaign, the Outland, the Tower, and in Guild Wars. But in automatic fights like in Arena and Gray and Arena, she will use this ability as soon as she gets to max energy. This ability summons a damage dealing dragon spirit that hits the nearest enemy, usually the tank, which burns them for a damage over time and pushes them back and damages them. So it's a damage over time, it's an upfront damage, and it's a pushback. So it's a little bit like Faceless's knock up and knock back, and except that it does a little bit more damage. It's a 30% physical attack modifier, which is on the low end. However, she also has another 20% physical attack modifier on the damage over time aspects of this ability. And excuse me, when it comes to physical teams, everything is based on physical attack. So we'll talk about that a little bit more when you get to her glyphs and artifacts and skins. Her green ability, Spear of Dawn, is a blind. So blind will prevent a physical attacker that is an enemy tank, an enemy physical damage dealer like Kark or Ishmael or Kira, blinds the nearest enemy for 3 seconds and damages them. So again, another low physical attack modifier skill. It does, however, come with a blind. So this hero, Qing Mao, is going to be effective to counter against enemy Kark teams, enemy Kira teams, and especially with her ultimate ability, Qing Long, pushing back the tank. This is going to be a little bit more effective than it normally would without having to rely on another hero to push that tank back. Okay. So Qing Mao is a little bit more effective than, say, Fox at blinding that front line, at least on her own. When you start building the rest of the team, it's a little different. Blue ability is Dragon's Claw. This is a fantastic ability. Deals damage to the nearest enemy based on their current health. So this does not have anything to do with physical attack. This doesn't have anything to do with armor. This doesn't have anything to do with main stats. This is simply a pure, straight up percentage damage attack. And it's one of only a few like this in the game. So you can see here at level 1, of course, only level 1, she will deal 10.1% of the target's current health. So immediately she knocks 10% off the top. This is extremely useful for high health targets. So think about your high health tanks, which is usually most of them, but also boss fights like in Outland or in the campaign. Doing a flat 10% of the opponent's health damage at once is a lot. That's a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage all at once. All right. And then finally, her Violet ability. Qing Mao reduces the target's armor with every attack. So every single attack that Qing Mao performs, she reduces the target's armor, usually the tank, sometimes it's the warrior. And this effect lasts until the end of battle or the target's death. So if the front line keeps getting juggled around, then this armor break ability, this open heart ability, will affect potentially multiple targets. First the tank, then the enemy support hero that's in second line, or the enemy warrior that's in the second spot. So strong ability there, pretty strong ability. As far as her skins are concerned, she has all of them. And I'm not going to say the word that you guys want me to say. I'm not going to say it. Just not going to happen. So Qing Mao is an interesting hero in that a lot of her ability actually doesn't care about physical attack. It does, but her percentage-based damage and her blind and her debuff don't really care much about armor penetration. But still, overall, I would recommend leveling up her armor penetration skin first. It actually happens to be my favorite skin. It's the Masquerade skin. It's a little cat onesie. She also has a Spring skin, which is a physical attack, which would be what I would recommend second to level up. The third skin I would recommend would be the default skin, which is just her flat agility skin. And then finally, her Phoenix skin with her Karen haircut is a dodge skin, which is going to help with her survivability, especially being close to the front. But I would work on it fourth. As far as glyphs are concerned, she has armor penetration, which I would work on first, physical attack, then agility, and then dodge and health at the end. Her damage resistance stats work on as the end. As a damage dealer or as a support damage dealer, I would work on those at the end. Definitely do armor penetration first, physical attack, then agility. Okay. Artifacts. Her artifact weapon, Spear of Crimson Dawn, provides your team with armor penetration. So not only does she have her own armor penetration, but she will also provide the rest of your team armor penetration as a bonus stat. Her book is Book of Illusions. This adds to dodge and health, and her ring is Ring of Agility, adds to agility. I would focus on the weapon first, the ring second, and then the Book of Illusions third. Having that extra oomph for the rest of your team in the armor penetration. One of the few heroes that can provide armor penetration as an artifact buff. And then, increasing her own damage via Ring of Agility, and agility adds physical attack. I think that's more important than adding dodge and health. Although it is important in the long run to keep your, all of your heroes alive. A dead hero does no damage. So I could see, an argument for Book of Illusions, but I would probably level up the other damage dealer in your team's book first. I would focus on Qing Mao's Spear, while you focus on, your tank's ring, and then your Kira or Kark or whoever, their book, which is also going to provide that hero armor penetration and physical attack. So we've spent a little bit more time than usual talking about these skills, and the reason for that is because I kind of feel like Qing Mao could go in one of two places. First of all, she's a strong hero. She's strong enough to not be in dead batteries here, so we can go ahead and knock that out. Of course, if she is your favorite hero, on the other side of the spectrum, if she's your favorite hero, which Qing Mao has got a lot of flavor to her. She's, half of her body is that of the possessed spirit of her dead brother or something along those lines. I really need to brush up on that lore a little bit more. Just dripping with fun story time. Like I'm going to do the story on this one for sure. I didn't do it on Kark last week, but I've already done like 3 of his. So I don't think that she is water bottle tier, because I don't think that you would plug in Qing Mao into every single team. I don't think that you would plug her into every single team. You wouldn't put her in a Twins team. You wouldn't put her in a Satori team. Probably Probably not a defensive team. Maybe not. I don't know. The big question that I have is between the middle three tiers. That is she strong enough to build a team around? Or does she only bring utility against certain teams? Or is she a Tower Outland campaign only hero? I think that she's good enough. I think that she's good enough in Arena and Grand Arena that she's more than a PvE hero, even though she's incredibly strong against Outland bosses, campaign bosses, and other bosses that get thrown at you, over the course of, the different events that happen in this game. The Archdemon event, the Halloween event, the spring event that we just had. So I think that she could either go into stop sign tier or milk crate tier. And what makes me think that she's milk crate tier, and I'm going to make the determination here that she's a milk crate tier hero. She is a hero that brings utility to some teams against certain teams. She's more of a counter hero. The reason why I say this is in the grand scheme of things, in the range of physical attack damage dealers, she's in the top third of all heroes for physical attack, but just in heroes that do physical attack as a damage dealer, she's mid to low as far as physical attack. Same thing with armor penetration. She's middle of the road with armor penetration. And I think that her utility relies in bringing her in against high health enemies and high armor enemies. So if you're in arena and you keep coming up against the tank that you just can't seem to kill fast enough, or you need her for a big boss fight or something along those lines, or you're going up against a team with a Kira or a Kark or maybe even an Elmer and you need that extra dodge up front, I think that's when you use Qing Mao. I think that Qing Mao is the hero that you sub out on Kira teams. You can sub in Anvari, you can sub in Cornelia, you can sub in all kinds of other utility heroes on the Kira teams. I think you can sub out her, on the Ginger teams. I think you sub out Qing Mao for, other heroes. There's way better heroes to choose from on all the Kark teams. You can definitely build a team around her, but I think that she's not quite good enough to build a team around. And you guys can disagree with me if you like. That's the great thing about this game. You can play this game just how you want. Let me know down in the comments, though. What do you think of Qing Mao? Do you think that Qing Mao is strong enough to build a team around? Do you think to yourself, I want to build a team around Qing Mao? I think that with the right team focusing on Qing Mao, is this a hero, like a pillar hero that I would build a team around? Or do you often find yourself adding her into other teams? Do you add her to your Kira team, to your Elmer team, to your Ginger team? Because that's what happens with me whenever I'm doing team designs. And it might just be biased based on, what I've learned over the last year, but that's how I feel about Qing Mao. So that being said, I'm going to wrap the video up here. I really hope that you guys are enjoying these tier list discussions. My Kark tier list video is live on my Patreon account. If you want to go check that out, it's available now. It only costs $1 a month to subscribe to my Patreon. I also post other great content there that you might see from time to time, and it's a pretty low barrier to entry, but it will become available to everyone in the next month. And the next tier video that I do will either be Heidi, given that she was reworked, or maybe I'll do Kira or Astaroth. I'm not sure if I'm going to do Astaroth. I might skip him, but I think it's probably important to cover all of the heroes that we have, as we have Heroes of the Month on mobile. But there's just so many, and I know I am 99% sure that Heidi's going to be the Hero of the Month next month on mobile because she just got updated. So I probably will save that for then. But okay, guys, I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.